Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're taking a look at all of my vintage appliances and mixers. Very exciting. So we're starting with my favorite that I have. I wanted this for years and years, ever since the first time I seen it. I would periodically check eBay to see if they had it, and eventually they did. So oftentimes people ask me, or they mention that I should buy things from eBay when I mention wanting something. This is the perfect example of why I don't do that frequently, because I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it, and a lot of you are probably going to be shocked, but it's definitely 100% worth it to me. I wanted it real bad, so it's fine, but I do live in Canada, and most listings are from the US. Our dollar is not the greatest, so this was $99 US, which translated to $137 Canadian, and then I had to pay shipping, which was $89, which translated to $123, and then I also had to pay a $20 import fee, which was actually 27 Canadian. So this coffee maker cost me a total of $287, which is quite a bit for a coffee maker, but it's fine. I love it. I think it's super cute. It definitely fits in with my vibe. It does work. I don't use it that frequently. Occasionally I use it, but I'm very happy that I found it. And yeah, would I go on eBay frequently and buy things? No, because that's a lot of money for a vintage appliance, even if you do love it. So anyway, now we're moving on to my toaster oven. I'm actually not sure the age of the toaster oven. I'm not actually sure when toaster ovens came into existence, really, but I feel like they started getting really popular probably in like the 70s or 80s. I'm not sure, but this one is definitely my most used appliance. It's by Betty Crocker, which I think is neat, because whenever I think of Betty Crocker, I just think of the 1950s. It's a super basic, simple toaster oven. You just have the one dial that you just turn back for. They have a little list there of different things you can make in it. I only ever make toast in it, I think, but it does work good, and I think it's really cute. It's like a little bit worn and a little discolored on the top, but I do think it's really cute and it fits in with the rest of my kitchen designs. I found this at a thrift store for $10, which was a great deal. So next up we have my blender. So this also is a working appliance. It does need a new gasket. I just tested it with water and some water did leak out, but I believe that this is late 70s, early 80s. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely has that look to it. I lean more towards the 70s, but I'm not entirely sure. I did just find this at actually the thrift store that I used to work at for $10, which I thought wasn't too bad. I don't use this one because of the leak, but I do keep it out on my counter because I think it really fits the vibe really nice with the 60s wallpaper there, and I keep it next to my crock pot, which is not vintage, but obviously it has that 70s vintage look to it with the daisies. So yeah, so now onto the mixers I have. So this mixer is from the early 70s, I believe, is when these models came out. And I believe it was available in Harvest Gold as well as, I think, white and maybe orange, like a burnt orange. I'm not sure. But I really wanted the avocado one. I know everyone is into KitchenAids, but I've always loved the Sunbeam Mixmasters, and what I like about it is the bowl actually spins on the Mixmaster. So, and also the top, it's hard to do one-handed, but you flick this switch and then you can actually lift the entire top piece off and it becomes like a hand mixer. Now it's a very heavy hand mixer, so, but it's just a cool feature. I think that well, the KitchenAid definitely doesn't have it, but, and then you can use a small or a large bowl. It came with both of them, and you just flick this switch to move it over. Since the beaters, it pushes them up against the side of the bowl, and that's what actually makes it go around. Just a little piece on the bottom of one of the beaters. So I did get this one from eBay. So originally I had bought one for, I think it was $87, which is like $113 or something like that, total, which wasn't bad if you compare it to the coffee maker. But the base ended up being cracked when that came, so I got a full refund for that. So then I just went online and found a base alone for, I think it was like $60, so it's not bad. And I do keep this one out on my counter in the corner here, and I think it looks really good with the wallpaper. And I do use it occasionally, but probably not as much as I should. So then I also have another Sunbeam Mixmaster. This is an earlier version, but I'm not sure exactly when. It is a 12 speed as well as the previous one. Some of them are worn off a little bit more than the other one. So I believe that the earliest versions were only 7 speed. I might be wrong about that, but this one definitely has more of like the earlier vintage shape. The handle is like curved and the base is rounded, but it does also detach. There's a few differences. This one, the button like kind of lever is on the inside there and it still detaches. And for this one, to switch between the small and the large bowl is actually like on the back part of it. It was impossible for me to do that one-handed while holding the camera, but it moves back and forth. And this is the bottom of it. I found this one for $10 a few years ago at Value Village. So then I have this General Electric mixer, which I actually didn't even know that General Electric made mixers until this clear bowl actually belonged to my great-grandma. And it was at my mom's house, and my mom inherited it when it's her grandmother, when her grandmother died. So I didn't actually know this though until my mom was like telling me that it was, oh, that's the bowl from her mixer. So I looked up the mixer. So anyway, when my mom passed away, because I had known that about the bowl, I kept it. So had she not told me that, like during her cancer treatment, like I would have probably just donated the bowl, not thinking it was anything special. So I'm glad that she told me that. And so I thought a fun way to display it would be to get the mixer that it goes to. So I did get this one on eBay. This wasn't too expensive. I think it was $71 or $2 total, which would make it around $97, $98 Canadian. So in comparison, like I said, to the coffee maker, not so bad, but still pretty pricey. And I'm just keeping this green bowl in there too. My grandma had just given that to me because she knows I like vintage things, even though I don't actually think the green bowl is like real jaded because it doesn't have any markings on it. But yeah, I would have totally donated this bowl and not even known the significance behind it. So I'm super glad that she happened to tell me that. And this bowl has been like in our house since I was a kid, and I had no idea that there was any significance behind it, so it's interesting. But I'm pretty sure this mixer was probably around the 70s, maybe. They do have an earlier version that definitely looks more 50s and 60s and has came in like cute pastel colors, whereas this one's a little more square. I feel like things started getting a little more square looking in the 70s. And this mixer, like the Sunbeam ones, also detaches too, as I think I demonstrated so gracefully. It was hard to do with one hand, but this one actually detaches a lot easier than the Sunbeam ones. So I just keep those two mixers, even though they both work. I just don't use them. I keep them up here on display. And then as you can see, I do have one of those, I believe it's vintage inspired milkshake machines by Hamilton Beach. So I had the blue one originally, and I sold that for I think $30 or $40 after I found this one. I found this one for $10 in a thrift store. So the blue one, I believe that they were vintage inspired. I think they came out around the late 90s, early 2000s. But this one I'm actually not sure about. I thought that that's when it came out as well. But when I look at the plug, the prong, you know, usually one prong is bigger than the other after like a certain year in the 70s, but both of the prongs are the same size. So I don't know if that means that this one was from the 70s or not, but it doesn't matter to me. I think it looks cute and it goes really well with the two mixers up there, and this color definitely suits my kitchen better than the blue one did. Originally, I think I found the blue one for $20 a few years ago, but I was able to sell it for more than I paid for it and essentially getting this one for free. Anyway, that's it for my vintage appliances and mixers. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any vintage appliances and if they work or if they don't, or if you use them or not. I would love to know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again really soon.